Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
And this is Meaghan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop, our weekly podcast about all things running. And we sprinkle in like that chef that did the salt on the thing. That's so old now, that meme.
Ratatouille?
No, I'm thinking that, remember the guy that does that with the salt?
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Yeah, that's so old now. I mean, that's how the times
I wish
move
that
these days.
audio listeners could see this.
Well, yeah. Anyway, we sprinkle in a healthy dose of nonsense, as you can already tell.
Yeah, I'd say it's more than a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
It's more like, you know, when you...
Are you saying the pinch of salt is the running?
Yeah. You know when you have a salt shaker and like someone pulls a prank on you where they unscrew the lid on it?
Or
It's
like
that.
one side is like the open and then one side has just the holes and then you thought you only had the shaker.
You know, that's actually
So
a
you
good
dump it
subject. If we want to have a round table on this one, what are pranks that the person who pulled the prank enjoys, but the person who got it, it actually hurts, like it feels bad, like you hurt inside? I think if you have that salt shaker and you dump it on, you just got your meal from a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And like it just destroyed your
Have
meal.
you ever drunkenly, like you go to get pizza late at night and you like think you're putting like garlic powder on it or whatever and you end up putting salt on it, like garlic salt? Have you ever made that mistake?
No, but I'd probably be fine with that. I love
It's so
salt.
gross because it's just like there's a limit though.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a huge salt guy, which is probably why I need salt stick in my life.
That's so weird. Like I would think you have a healthy dose of
Wait,
salt.
are you like a sweet guy? Like you like sweets over salty stuff?
Not really. I just don't like I don't put salt on any of my food ever. I mean, unless it's in a recipe, you know.
Do you guys cook a lot though?
Yeah, pretty decent.
Huh.
I've been I got a deal in the New York Times cooking and games like package, which is awesome because I love the New York Times crossword.
Okay.
I didn't know that this was a package you could get.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like, you just sounded like you're 90 years old.
Well, it is funny because like I love doing the crossword and in the comments every day they have people commenting it and it's all like 80-year-olds. Like today, one of the clues was Anderson Paak, the artist, and nobody had any idea who that person was. And I'm like, see, this is like where I balance things out because I'm not good with like World War II history.
Right, but is there like, while you're doing the crossword puzzles, is there ads for like adult diapers, erectile dysfunction?
There should be, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Heart medication?
No, he's paying for it. You don't get ads, right?
No, you still well, not like in the puzzle.
Maybe
but
he gets discounts. Maybe
even
they
if you're a
send
subscriber,
coupons.
even if you're a subscriber on the Times, you still get ads like on the
Okay.
in the digital
Yeah.
version. But anyways, so what were we talking about?
We were just
Salt.
explaining how this podcast is actually about nothing.
Yeah. Well, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
But running, you guys did do some running this past weekend.
We did this.
A lot of running, actually.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
It was. We missed you, Robbe. We did.
I need to get back on the grind.
Yeah.
There was only a couple times where I didn't miss Robbie. There was a couple times where I was like, if Robbie was here, where the guys just went, this would be going on a lot longer. Like we went back to our hotel, and I was like, if Robbie was here, this would just be the beginning of the night. Like they would be going there. Hey, I heard about there's a place downtown that's got all night.
Let's just jump on the
all night
subway.
ping pong.
I have been to one of those places in New York, but it was like super expensive though. It was crazy how much it cost per hour.
It is. It's boutique.
Yep. Anyways,
So yeah, we went up for the New Balance Bronx 10 miler to New York City. We took the train, which I really like.
Yeah, I have to say, train travel.
So easy.
We got to make that a thing.
yeah. I mean, I did that a couple weekends ago too. It was great.
Yeah.
You and Kimmy took the train up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we did that same thing, which we did when we went up with Asics for the start of the van tour to Eugene. We went up there with them, and we got off at Penn Station, and we walked that mile with all of our bags. Yeah, we made that mistake again.
I don't think it was
It's
a
not that
mistake.
bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It got real hot real fast, and you're carrying all the stuff, and I was thinking about how we had a long run the next day. It was...
Well, so when I went up there with my wife a couple weeks ago, we did the same thing, and then but when we got off, she got the directions, and it was to property that our hotel used to own.
Oh no.
That was like over a mile away. And we got there and they're like, yeah, these are apartments. And we're like, they're like, yeah, the other place is way over there. And it was like a third of a mile from Penn Station.
Oh no.
So, yeah.
Did you walk?
Yeah. So we ended up walking 2 miles with our full like duffel bags and everything. It was awful.
So we ended up staying someplace that was really close to where we stayed last time we were up in New York on Columbus Circle. But it was kind of like faux nice. Mm-hmm. Like it was, I don't know how to describe it. It was, I guess it's what you expect from New York City. It was like,
yeah.
The look of it was, oh, this is going to be nice.
That's how the place
Like
we
you
stayed
peel
was.
off one layer of this place and it's terrifying.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
And I have to say something. Baltimore does get a bad rap. New York smells bad, man.
Oh, yeah. The smells are wild.
Yeah. Like, I know in the harbor we have that pistachio tide or whatever they're calling it that smells like sulfur.
But even then, that smells usually after it rains or something.
Yeah. This.
I mean, there's trash everywhere. Like right outside of our hotel was like this nesting ground for rats. Like they literally would just come down this little area and be all hanging out. Like there would be like 5 of them, like all the time there.
But it was, I would tell you this, if you were a nature enthusiast, you would just be like, oh, because they weren't ugly rats.
No, honestly, they didn't bother me. I was like, oh, look at the cute little rats.
Like, you know the ones in Baltimore? Those are scary looking rats.
Yeah.
These were like brown squirrels.
Did you find a king rat? Do you know what that is?
No.
Did you look at the picture?
Do I
Let me
want
see
to?
it.
It's
Can I
where
see
their
it?
tails get all entangled with each other and they create a huge circle.
Oh, no.
No.
I don't know if that's like a real thing or just apparently there's pictures of it, so I guess it's real.
Yeah, but could somebody have tied those rats together?
I don't know.
Why would someone do that?
Meg, why would people?
Okay. Anyway, so we got there. When did we go up? Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we did the Bronx 10 miler on Sunday, but our hotel was 6-ish miles away from the start. So we're all training for a New York City Marathon. We figured make it a long run. So we jogged over.
Yeah, so we ran up the west side of Central Park, which actually, it was kind of cool because it was all sort of uphill. And you also, like when we finally made it, we started in the dark, so we didn't really get to see much of the park. But then when we finally got up past Uptown Harlem and that kind of stuff, like when we were crossing down, you see Yankee Stadium.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate the Yankees, so bleep them, but it's cool to see the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's an iconic landmark. And
Yeah.
And you're rolling down into the Bronx. And the start of the race was kind of cool because it's under, like, it's an above ground part of the transit system.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like that bridge above you, and we're like, doing bag drop, and the trains are like over top of you, and just the energy. There was 12,000 runners.
Yeah, I thought there was like 4,000. There's 12,000.
12,000?
Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty
huge.
big. I didn't realize it was that big. I thought it was kind of just
We were like walking to the start, and I was like, didn't realize the corral started at like Z or something, and it was like every
By the way, Meg was AA.
corral
crazy.
was
Like as high up as you can get.
a mile, to the point where when we were running back, so it's an out and back, this course, and on our way back, like I'm talking mile 9, there's still people just
Taking off.
starting.
Whoa.
It was crazy.
It was really weird to know that, like, I was finishing the race and
Someone was just starting.
I'm seeing people like I'm like, well, they're only at mile 2.
And I was also surprised to hear that it was hilly because I don't know. I guess I always assumed that New York
That was my mistake. The first time I ran the New York Marathon, I was like, New York's flat.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Most people would probably think the same about Baltimore.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a hilly course. I didn't mind it so much. I kind of went in, I knew we're training for London, so it was like training run.
Mm-hmm.
So the 6 miles up was part of that, and then 10 miles. So it wasn't like I was like, my eggs were in this basket where if I didn't perform well, I was going to be upset or anything like that. And so I also knew that it was hilly ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
But Jarrett and I started together. Meg, you started with
Brandon and Meaghan.
Yeah. So since you were up front, how'd it go?
It was fun. It's the first time I've ran a race with a GoPro, which I have to say was kind of fun because when people see that you have a GoPro, they like get excited and wave. Like there wasn't a ton of spectators out there, but when I did see them and I would like show that I was filming with the GoPro, they'd
go
like all
nuts.
cheer. And so
I did notice that when I ran with Kafuzi at
Yeah.
Falmouth last year, like people go nuts.
yeah. And even people like even the runners around you, when they see that you're filming and they're like, you know, they pick up their pace or they try and do a little shout out.
That's funny because I was running with the 360 and I pull it, I extend the stick and I'm going because we're going under this like tunnel and I want to get that opening of the tunnel and the end of the tunnel. And the lady next to me, she's like, well, which direction is that? Which direction is that facing? Because she's running next to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's 300. She's, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
She's like,
That's funny.
But
Side note, well, first off, I want to say, if you have a camera and people are cheering like that, do you think the morale boost of people cheering for you offsets the negative effect of carrying a camera?
1000%.
okay,
Sweet.
I
need to start carrying a
actually
camera.
said to Meaghan afterwards, I said, running with the camera is a boost. Like you
Okay.
would think it's a deterrent or
Right,
it
right.
gets you down. But when you pull out the camera, it makes you think about your form and think about, what's around you. It takes your moment it takes your head out of that moment
see that.
of working on the pace and just you're like looking around at what you're shooting. Like when I would take it out, there was a DJ and I was like, oh, I want to get the DJ. So, I was running at that time, mid-sevens or whatever, and I pull out, my stick and I'm working on that. And so for that 10, 15 feet of me doing that, I'm not thinking about pace or anything. I'm just
right.
going. I think it's actually a great way to kind of pull your head out of that.
Dude, I'm gonna just make a cardboard camera so it's super light and people will think it's a camera and they'll start cheering for me.
Well, that's the thing. They're not that
There'll be
heavy.
no
Well,
negative
so
Not
effect.
this
that
is
heavy.
this is really
That
funny.
is true.
Thomas gave me 2 options to hold 2 different GoPros for the race, and then he was going to give the other one to Brandon. And I chose the one that had like a heavier
Like a mount.
mount. I don't know why. It just felt like it would be better. But anyway, so mid race, of all things, I got a rock wedged into the energy arc of my shoe.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
To the point where I had to stop because it was like click, 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 click.
Oh man.
So I had to give Brandon my GoPro so I could like run up and pop this
Pop the rock.
rock out of my shoe. And when I handed it to him, he goes, "Oh my gosh, this one's so much more heavy."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I opted for this one. Like I just thought it was more comfortable. I also think if you're just once you start with it, you're just used to it.
Yeah. I actually don't think it's a detriment at all. I ran, did I do Charles Street 12 with a camera as well?
I don't remember.
I know I did another race, but like ever since we started doing shakeout runs and stuff when I carry it, it doesn't bother me.
Side note, can I do a quick side note here? Because I
Yeah.
was looking something up. You guys ran right past the Royal Tenenbaum's house on your way up to
Damn
North.
it.
You were like a block away from it.
I would have done the detour.
Yeah, because I've visited it once. It's pretty cool to see like it in real life.
Dent.
It's a dent. There's a dent.
There's a dent.
Anyways, Thomas and I like that part of the movie.
That's like my favorite part.
I love it.
Next time we'll have to stop.
Yeah. So, anyways, but that was just quick aside. But seems like you had a good day. Everyone finished fairly for running 20 miles, throwing a long run in the middle. It seemed everyone did
Yeah.
well.
I only did like 16. Like
Only.
Jarrett, and Reno and I all did 16. Jarrett, Reno, and I finished within seconds of each other, which was weird because Jarrett and I ran together until about mile 6, and then he got happy feet and he wanted to take off, and I was just like, whatever. And
You think he's gonna do that in the marathon?
nah, I don't think maybe, but I think I feel like we're gonna have a good time.
Are
at the
we
marathon.
doing a pact for sure that we're all gonna run together? Me, you, and Jarrett.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
I say we do a pact with a caveat.
Okay.
Like if the one of us can't like at least do a certain time, like
Probably me.
like if you have to start walking,
Yeah.
we'll leave you.
I don't think I'll have to start.
No, you won't have
walking.
to start. I think you're fine. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I will be since I mapped it out.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I would, but like if like it's a pact until it's like okay, I think it's at least a sub 4 pact.
Okay. Yeah. Are we drinking beers or not? Have we decided that?
I think that's the plan.
I'm into it.
I think like it doesn't have to be like a 12 ouncer, but like if there's a little bit, you know, just
before Donna, my PR in the half was at Baltimore of all places, and I drank mimosa mile 3.
So you know it works.
Yeah.
there was one race that I did out here that was a trail race where they had margaritas on the course.
Oh wow.
I don't know about that.
And I just couldn't do it. Like it's like a thing to do. It's like at mile 8 of a 10-mile race.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't want that.
At all the Harrisburg races, there's a guy that is always at the bad part of the race, like mile 20 or 10.
It's probably the same guy.
And he is a fireball table.
Oh wow.
Which is like
Fireball actually isn't that bad. Like we did a fireball. We had a Faster Bastards fireball trail race, and what it really was there was, you know how like when the sidewalk isn't there and people walk and it kind of makes a dent in the grass. So it's like a path.
Yeah.
So there was one that was about,
I think they call them wish paths.
Yeah. Is it like 100 yards?
Probably.
It was like 100 yards. And you had to do a shot of fireball, and then we were doing the fastest time down this old dirt path.
Did you have to run? That was it? Like that was it?
Yeah, we call it a trail race.
I like it.
And we did it like multiple times. Like I ended up doing it like 2 or 3 times. But the fireball didn't hurt while you were running. It's when you stop running that you're like,
yeah.
Oh, all of a sudden you get that heat.
Yeah.
Not the heat from cinnamon, just like alcohol heat.
Alcohol heat. Oof. Yeah.
But yeah, New York was cool. I went back to, I can't even pronounce the name of the place. I went Le Pen. Meg, can you do
Le Pen?
it? Le Pen. What was the last?
I forget what the
Quaint. It's a Q something.
It's like a chain, right?
I didn't know it, but I think it is because it was only a few blocks from the one that we went to the first time.
Yeah, it is. Le Pen.
I think if they,
I'm not going to pronounce that right.
You can just spell it. But
it's French, right?
Yeah. But if they opened one of those down here, I'd be there every day. All right, breaking news, Meg. By the time people hear this, it won't be breaking news. But for us, it's breaking news right now in the studio. We just found something out.
Yeah. So everyone who submitted an application for the Boston Marathon for April of 2023 with a qualifying time got in.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. So our friend Betsy, who was worried about scraping by, congratulations. Yeah. Looks like you're going to Boston.
Congratulations to everyone who was worried about scraping by.
Yeah. That's amazing because I remember the year when I qualified but didn't get in. Like I was so sad, and
oh man,
that's such a good feeling.
It kind of makes me sad now.
Do you know what's even worse though? There's people that are like, "There's no way I'm going to make the cutoff. I'm not even going to apply," and now they're screwed.
I bet. Yeah, you think so?
Oh yeah.
I actually know people that happened to last time.
Why?
They've learned their lesson. I think everyone's applying now.
What?
Why would you do that?
Because you're like, what's the point? I'm not going to get in. I think
there's a very small group of people like that. Not many.
Well, so what do you think the reason is that the submissions are lower?
Well, it's higher than last year.
Yeah, but not by that much, right?
It could be that people who ran in
people ran in the fall and ran in the spring.
Yeah, maybe they're tapped out. If they did the October to April, maybe they're not going to go back.
Like I just did
could be
too.
A lot of things. Maybe people got burnt out over the pandemic. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe running's dead.
That's definitely not.
Wouldn't that be great?
You heard it here first. Running is dead.
They also
we're also losing our jobs.
Lowered the number of charity runners.
Will pivot.
Oh, the charity runners are lower?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that really had an effect or not. Yeah, I don't know.
And we've added non-binary. How many non-binary people?
There were 22.
22.
And 624 athletes who have finished at least 10 consecutive Boston marathons. So
How
once
many?
you do that, you get to get in.
You just get in.
624.
Wow.
I think if you live in Boston,
Yeah.
you'd want to do that.
Still, though, that's pretty good.
I don't think you'd want to do that if you're like traveling from California.
By the way, you say it's so much easier for women to qualify than for men, but I will tell you it's 13,000 men, 9,000 women.
Oh, wow.
I do think that the qualifying times, and this is a compliment to women, not a diss. I think that women have gotten really strong in running, and I think that the gap between the men's qualifying time and the women's qualifying time. I think it could be a little closer.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I honestly forget that. I think I talked about this before. I forget that there's like different. Like I just assume that we're all on the same level.
I also think that
because we run with so many fast women. I'm just like they're.
Is that the thing? Am I just running with too many fast women?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay. But I also think that wouldn't it be cool if there was a division? Like, okay, I'm not talking about non-binary. I'm talking about if there was a division of people that, like, if a woman qualifies at the men's time, like if she qualifies, then she should. Well, I know you have. You're 248. That's like you qualify as a teen. But
You reverse qualify.
if you qualify for
less
that,
than 0.
I think you should get like there should be a special designation for.
Yeah, I like
that's pretty cool.
Well, and that's one of Kira's goals is to hit the men's Olympic
OTT.
trials qualifying time,
Whoa.
which I guess is 218 now.
Sub 219.
Yeah, or sub 219. Yeah.
That'd be cool. I think that there's something about that's like kind of badass.
Yeah,
For sure.
because it's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, that's exciting. So I guess congratulations to everyone there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we'll be up at Boston this year.
Yes.
So, shake your booty.
But you know what's coming up this weekend? Berlin.
I know.
We're kicking off.
One of our
The fall marathon.
One of our train to NYC people is going to be there.
Wait, is Kipchoge running Berlin?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so is Kira D'Amato.
Oh.
And do you know why she said she wants to win it? So that she can meet Kipchoge. Because she's like, chances are, if we both win, we'll both be
Now here's the thing.
on the stage
both,
together.
They're
both-
both Nike athletes. She could probably just be like, hello.
I know, but isn't it funny that that's how she
I do
would look at
Like
it?
yeah.
So, so sorry, I interrupted you. You said one of our trained to NYC athletes is going to be there.
Yeah, actually.
Mateo.
Are you guys sure it's not Monteo?
Pretty sure.
Positive.
Okay, Ashley Mateo
Tony Monteo
is going to be there. We've got a couple faster bastards going. Fausto will be out there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I was just thinking. I was just talking to someone who's run Berlin just now, and they're like, the best thing about it is during Oktoberfest.
Oh.
So like after you finish the race, it's like you go over and there's
That's fun.
like get one of those barrels of beer that you hold in your hand.
Is it a Stein?
Yeah, it's a Stein. I think that maybe 2023, Believe in the Run team does Berlin.
He thinks next fall?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
I mean,
quick
think about that.
turnaround.
If Meaghan will have 6 stars,
Yeah, I mean, you need to get that.
depending on if I jump into Boston, I could have 6 stars
Yeah.
because we're going to do Tokyo in the spring.
Yeah.
How close is Tokyo to Boston?
Very.
Do you think
Too close. Actually, it's a month. It's 5 weeks.
Do you
Oh,
think
that's fine.
Tokyo is an insane idea to try to Boston qualify there?
No.
It's a flat course, right?
Did you? Yeah, you saw the runner explained did a really nice post on Instagram with all of the majors and the elevation courses, and that one is the flattest.
And I think you
But-
have fast runners.
But I think the weather is iffy. And also, I was listening to this podcast with Dina Castor, and she was saying, they say it's a very physical race, like guys are like elbowing and stuff. And she was like, well, it'll be fine. She got knocked over in the beginning by a guy elbowing her, and then in the middle of the course, some guy hit her from the side, and she fell over, like it broke her watch. She was like all scraped up. She dislocated her shoulder.
Why would someone do that?
Apparently, it's
Tokyo.
just a very physical race.
Go hard in the paint. I like it in a way.
That's
That's crazy.
We're going to have bodyguards.
Yeah.
It probably had to get all that aggression out because they're so nice. Yeah.
Welcome to Japan.
Well, and also, like, you can't throw your trash anywhere, so maybe they're like, oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Don't drop that.
That's a weird thing. Like, what are you doing with your Martins? Are
Yeah.
you tucking it back into...
No, I think they have trash cans all along, so
Why
you just
am I?
have to make sure.
Why am I even going there?
I know, Robbie won't have any garbage to look through.
Gonna have to do
What is
some
the
real.
point?
Maybe they have like an underground like collection of garbage people that are into finding. They have like their secret locations.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited because if you think about it, we got London in 10 days.
Yep.
By
When
the
this
time
comes out,
podcast
basically
comes out,
a
like a
week.
week. Then we've got New York. Then we've got Tokyo. if we throw Berlin in,
We'll also be going down to Adana before that.
did I say Boston?
Oh, you're going down to Adana?
Yeah, I won't be racing the marathon,
okay.
but we'll be down there.
Okay.
You coming?
It's
know.
not a
There's
no.
where you go get your BQ.
Yeah, it's 2 loops.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, you did the
November, December, January. Oh, that's 3 months.
All right, so what'd you do the half in?
At Adana, 130.
Okay. So yeah, if you slow down a little bit on the first loop, say you ran a 135
Yeah.
and then you did a 130 on the back, you're in.
Okay. I don't know. We'll see.
Think about it.
Yeah. Just thoughts in my head. I'm not gonna throw any huge things out there right now, considering I
That's what you
have 4 days of running under my belt since my latest injury. So
You know what's going to happen, though? You're going to have real consistent, great training up until New York.
And then a
you're going to get
dumpster's
in
going
the
to fall on
start line. No, no. And you're going to be like, I've got all this fitness. I'm just going to coast
Rip.
this one in.
don't. Yeah, the thoughts
don't
crossed my
know.
mind. The
I
thoughts
don't
crossed my
know.
mind. That's why I'm saying we have to make a pact, because otherwise one of us is gonna derail
No,
it.
you know, honestly,
You're all going to derail it. Let's be real.
I will tell you this. If you go and we go, I'd love to do it all together and have fun and do it. But if you go and you're like, hey, I'm feeling good, I want to go for it.
It would probably not be till like the last 6 miles, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we could do that. That's what Jarrett and I did at Wine Glass.
Mm-hmm.
We had up to 20 and then let's see what happens.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to talk about it.
But the problem is it'll all be wasted because hopefully we'll be having so much fun before we get to 20 miles.
Yeah.
We're going to be like, well, what's the point of busting balls right now?
We'll see. All right.
We'll see. We can figure it out. We can strategize.
All right.
But yeah,
Should we talk about this shoe up here?
we should. All righty. What am I holding, Meg? Hold yours.
The Saucony Triumph 20.
Triumph, the insult comic dog.
Well, the Triumph.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do. With the little cigar.
Yeah.
His jokes were funny.
It was like funny at the
Yeah,
time.
very insulting.
You probably can't even do that stuff anymore.
I'd have to go listen to some again, but yeah, they were usually pretty raunchy.
Anyways, we won't insult.
I go
this.
back with the Triumph for a long time. I think I've even run a marathon in a pair of Triumphs before.
Really?
Yeah, I was real.
Were you triumphant, or were you?
I mean,
the
back
opposite?
When I first started, I was just like a.
They're
hey,
all
can
triumphant, Robbie.
can I
You
finish?
finished them.
That's
Yeah,
true.
can I finish? No, I don't mean finish the conversation. Like that was my like my goal back then.
Oh, okay.
Can I
was
finish?
like, sorry for interrupting, dude.
No. Can I please finish? No, just the marathon. But the shoes come a long way. I almost didn't want to review this one because I didn't like the last version. I thought it was heavy and kind of clunky.
And the ones before that were even worse.
Yeah.
What was that fit that they used to do for a while?
ISOFIT.
Yeah, that was terrible.
They're still trying. They're still trying to do some sort of ISOFIT technology.
So, this shoe's different, right?
Yeah. Well, one thing, I thought they were using Power Run PB, but as you can read on the side, Robbie, it's Power Run Plus.
Yep.
I'm not exactly sure what the difference is. It is that kind of popcorn material.
Yeah,
that expands to make the
feels very squishy.
midsole. Yeah. This one for me, I love the first run. I've done one run in it. We're going to do our first impression video. I came back thinking Meaghan was going to love this shoe. I was all excited. I was like, Meaghan, this is a great shoe, isn't it? And
I need to put it back on because I felt like it felt firm to me. It felt uncomfortable. I don't know if I tied the laces too tight, but like the top of my foot hurt in the middle of the run. And I think it might have just been a bad day for me. And I took it out on the shoe.
I feel like it probably was because up until then you ran the SC Trainer and the SC Elite 3. And those are both pretty soft. Now this shoe is, I would say to me, the closest shoe that this came to was a shoe that I absolutely adore, the Nova Blast 3.
See, and this felt so different. Like I said, I need to put it back on and try it again. And even like sometimes if I don't like the look of a shoe, that will deter me from liking it. But I love the look of this shoe. It feels light. The foam feels good. I'm just not sure what happened.
Dude, the last version of this had Power On Plus midsole.
That's why I thought this one did.
It does.
I can't remember.
It
I
says
get 'em
Power
all.
On Plus on it.
Yeah, they both have the same
Oh, I thought
midsole.
it said Power Run PB.
No, Power On Plus.
I don't know what Power Run Plus is.
It's a TPU-based foam.
What is Power Run PB then? P-Bax based.
So that it's P-Bax based. And then the regular Power Run is just EVA based.
It's a good thing they don't make it really confusing.
Yeah. And then sometimes the midsoles are Power On Plus, but the insole's like Power On Plus. Yeah, but the midsole's Power On or vice versa. It's like all very confusing.
Yeah. I felt like this shoe, especially compared to the last one, which I really didn't like at all. I was like, wow, this one feels great. I was cruising. This is on tired legs after being in New York. I did take Ralphie. I did take the run after a day off. Like you ran on Monday in Central Park, which I would have liked to done, but we had too much fun on Sunday that when I woke up in the morning, I was like, there's no way I'm going for a run today. And Meg's like, I'm going for a run. We're in Central Park.
I mean, you missed out on some views.
I did, and I appreciate it, and I would have liked to have done it, but I think going and getting a cream-filled donut was a better plan for me that day. But I really like this. I thought it was smooth. The transition is great. I like the way the foam feels on this. It's such a better shoe. If someone like the Triumph 19...
I don't think you tried the 19. I think 18 was the last one you ran in.
Okay.
That's probably why, because the last one wasn't that bad.
Okay, because I did not like...
Yeah, because...
Are you sure I didn't do the...
Yeah, because there's 4 of us on that review.
Yeah, but I think I got it, and I was just like, I don't like it, so I'm not going to review it.
This one?
Yeah, I got that one.
Really?
Yeah. I think I didn't like it, so I was just like, Robbie, do we have enough people reviewing it? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. But this one, if you like the 19, I guarantee that you're going to love this one. And again, I feel like Saucony is nailing the uppers. This one did need a little more cinching down than the some of the other Sauconys I've been wearing, like the Shift. People are already asking me, should I get the Shift 3 or get this?
What's your gut?
I think this one may be more versatile. Like this one's more like a traditional shoe than the Shift. But I don't know. I like running in the Shift
I was going to say, you were all gung-ho about the Shift.
Yeah. I would think that you'd like this one better. It's a little softer.
I know. Like I said, I'm going to try it again. I'll tell you guys what I think next week.
We might have to do a between two shoes with the Shift in this one.
Okay. So the stack height on this one is like 4 or 5 millimeters more.
It does seem thicker.
It's like 37 in this one. I think the previous one was 34.
Okay.
So what's the drop?
Or no, the previous one was 32, so it's almost 5 millimeters more.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I was feeling like it was blocky. I don't think there's a lot of transition.
10 millimeter drop. Last year was 8.
Yeah. This one feels like the transition is a little better.
Yeah. Okay.
37, man.
And it actually weighs an ounce or so less than last year's version too.
So that's the thing. Last year it was blocky. It was lower stack, so the transition I don't feel like was as noticeable. This one doesn't feel like a 10 millimeter. I was actually, when I was doing my run, I was trying to figure out what the drop was on it. I would never have guessed 10 millimeters.
I can't usually guess anyway.
Actually, the weight might be the same. It's weird because, here it is. The weight, it's a little less, not a whole ounce. It's like half an ounce less.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. I all of a sudden the Triumph is back for me. I'm glad that we decided to review it this time.
Yeah. All right.
Who our guest this week? Robbie, you talked to this gentleman.
Yeah.
Jay.
It's not Laura?
No.
Thanks for putting that there.
Why don't you try it again?
Oh, wait, one quick thing. Since this has to do with last week's podcast, I did take my stitch out that you didn't want me to.
Okay.
One of them. You didn't get the other one.
It was just one. Well, there's just one left.
Oh.
Only one
You saw Karen
rose to
just-
the surface.
You saw Karen just offered her nurse.
Yeah, if I wouldn't have done that, I just would have went there. Luckily, I have insurance. If I didn't have insurance, I would have just done it all myself.
Shoot him out with your teeth.
I got Ralphie on that. Ralphie was trying to lick it earlier. I'm like,
Okay.
Ralphie, come on, dude.
He smells the
Which
bacteria.
I had to look that up because my this is kind of weird. But I feel like growing up, your family's like, oh yeah, just like let the dog lick it. It's like, that's a weird thing to say. It sounds very like
let
redneck.
Your dog lick your wound?
Yeah, so I actually Googled this and it was like, apparently it's a common like thing.
Like it's legitimate or like
so
it's
gross.
some weird thing that people do?
I don't do it. But
do you kiss your dog when you were growing up? Did you let him lick your
I was like,
inside
Robbie
of your
doesn't
mouth?
even have a dog. Like,
oh
why?
yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
You would tongue kiss your dog?
Oh, tongue kiss? Me?
Yeah, you'd let him lick the inside of your mouth?
No.
Yeah, you did.
It's a different story. Only if they ask nicely.
I remember I saw.
Only if they took me out to dinner first.
I went to a friend's house and he hadn't seen his dog in a while. Like it was in like college or whatever. And he went up and he just opened his mouth and the dog started licking inside of it. And he's like, "What? What? The dog's licking inside your mouth."
Look,
Like,
so I Googled this because I was like, why do people think that? That is weird though, by the way. It says, look, the belief that allowing dogs to lick wounds will help them heal is deeply rooted in human culture.
So there's zero science.
It started in ancient Egypt, so maybe I'm part Egyptian.
I don't think that's how that works.
Oh. It continued through Grecian times and carried through to common folk culture. I will say
you are common folk.
I am common folk. It says
the rest of us go get some Bactine.
It says there is some science to it though.
What is it?
Dog saliva and human saliva contain some ingredients that can help heal wounds.
So you could
That's
have
not crazy.
you could have a human lick your wound.
Yeah.
gosh.
Are you interested?
Okay, enough wound talk.
But all that to say, my running's been. We didn't talk about that, but my running's been good.
That's good.
You're coming back.
Yeah, I'm not
Slowly but surely.
pain free. So
Yeah.
If I feel like you remember how I used to always get injured doing stupid shit that had nothing to do with running, like I'd fall off a scooter or do a box jump or something like that. I feel like you're in that zone right now where it's like,
yeah,
you would be fine if you just like it's not running that's hurting you.
it's just life.
Yeah, you're doing the stupid shit that gets you.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Anyways, yeah. So today's guest is Jay Deshari. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but he is the founder of Mobo Board, but he's also a coach, a like expert on biomechanics, which is how he invented the Mobo Board. It's kind of like a balance board that you do exercise with. By the way, I was doing that last night. It's pretty cool because the Mobo Board.
Uh-huh.
So you would think it's just like, oh, it's a balance board, but the way that it works, and the exercise with it works like your whole leg up to your hips and glutes. So you're working everything.
Okay, so like it's hard for us to picture what that means. Like, what are you doing?
Like, are you just standing on a board?
No, so you do exercises while like kind of
While you're
standing
on
on
it.
it.
Okay.
Like, what are the exercises?
So there's a whole bunch on his website. I was just doing ones where you kind of like hold a band, like it comes with a band that you tie to like a doorknob or something, and then like kind of do like rotational stuff. And then I did the one where you have like a TheraBand type thing where you like.
Do you first just have to master not falling off of it?
No, because it's not a balance board. It has two like rounded I don't know, pieces that you balance on it, but it's not like hard to balance.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not like the one where there's a ball in the middle
No,
and like
no.
you
That's
fall
the one
over.
I have, but I haven't been using because I messed up the top of it. I need your sander and to clean up the top and then reapply
Okay.
stuff. So I need to get your hand sander.
All right. I don't even want to know. But so it's not particularly hard to do, but it has like an opening where your toes go so that you're not like it works your actual foot muscles instead of your toes. Like normally if you do an exercise standing on your foot, your toes are like gripping the floor, so you're not working your feet muscles so much. But yeah, so I don't know. It works. It's kind of cool.
All right.
And if you've already been listening to the podcast, you know he's doing the tips. So he knows a thing or two.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that this week.
Yeah.
All right.
It's off your plate.
My tip is get someone else to do the tips.
Yeah.
Here's our first check-in.
But anyways, I thought it was a good conversation. I think there's a lot to learn. He knows what he's talking about. So enjoy.
Listen up.